It's the end of spring seasonal anime. Do you know what that means? It means you can binge any series that just recently ended. So I scrolled through the various recently finished airing anime on MyAnimelist to find something to make a video on. No, hello there. As I was scrolling, Edomae Elf, or Otaku Elf, caught my eye. Let's see what it's about. I haven't heard a single person talk about it, and it's got very few ratings on MyAnimelist as well. In fact, it's towards the bottom of the seasonal anime. Let's see if Edomae Elf is a gem, garbage, or something in between. Yes, the title of this video is correct. Red Bull sponsored this anime. Right at the beginning of Edomae Elf, there's the Red Bull product placement and mention, which remains a constant throughout the show. I swear the first episode specifically had tons of Red Bull screen time. I don't have any problem with that. As a matter of fact, I like drinking Red Bull. I'm just surprised that this anime got the okay from Red Bull to mention and place their product, especially since you see later on that other brands like Fanta get a rebrand and they censor others such as iPhone and Dragon Quest. Now it's obvious that it would be near impossible for the anime to get every big brand to sponsor their show, or even just one to be honest. I was just surprised that a massive brand like Red Bull were the ones to do so, especially for an anime that's not at least moderately popular. Hey Red Bull, sponsor me too while you're at it. So what's Edomae Elf actually about? It follows Tokyo's Takamimi Shrine and its living goddess, a 621-year-old elf named Elda. Elda was summoned to this world over 400 years ago and has been the shrine goddess ever since, promising Tokugawa Ieyasu, the man who summoned her, to watch over the country. Elda is a simple elf with no divine powers. For the past 60 years, she's been a hardcore shut-in. Yes, an Otaku Elf is a shrine goddess. Elda does not like seeing other people, in part because she gets bullied for her long ears. She's an otaku who enjoys video games, watching anime, eating snacks, and staying in her room instead of doing her duties. She's addicted to collecting limited edition items, and yes, she must have her daily morning Red Bull. Damn, she's just like me. She's beloved and pampered by the people in spite of her otaku-ness. The parishioners spoil Elda with stuff she likes. Usually you'd see people give things like alcohol and rice to the shrine as gifts, but in the first episode she's gifted junk food like chips, soda, and even a brand new VR headset. Elda is given an allowance from these gifts which she uses to buy various things, further fueling her otaku nature. She is also my favorite character within Otaku Elf. Koito is the brand new Miko, or Shrine Maiden, which has been a job passed down her family for generations. Her mother was a Shrine Maiden for Elda, and her grandfather still works at the shrine. Miku do the dirty work at shrines such as general housekeeping, as well as serving the goddess. It's even harder for Koito since this goddess Elda is a fairly useless one. Unfortunately, Koito's mother died when she was little, so she doesn't really remember what her mother was like. At various points throughout the anime, you see that Elda has fond memories of Koito's mother, indicating she really loved her. Koito lives at the shrine with her little sister Koyozu, who cooks all of the meals. Koito throughout the show tries her best to force Elda into doing her daily shrine duties. Not only that, she helps Elda open up a bit, wanting her to enjoy the rest of the world and what it has to offer her. At first, Elda was only willing to see Koito and would hide in her room or behind Koito if others were present. She'd rarely leave her room, have all of her meals brought to her, and order things off Amazon to be delivered directly to her room. Elda slowly opens up as the story progresses, being able to leave her room on a more regular basis and talk to more people thanks to the encouragement of others. Elda and Koito form a great team despite them being at odds with one another constantly. These moments are wholesome as Elda is the one who usually concedes. Apparently every shrine has an elf goddess attached to it who is summoned by various lords. There have been 3 different ones shown thus far. Obviously there's Elda, but there's also Yord and Hyra. Each elf is obsessed with something. We already know what Elda is obsessed with. Yord, the short childlike elf, despite being 1 year older than Elda, acts like a child. She runs around wanting to try everything, claiming to always be right, and demanding to win everything. She cries and complains a bunch when she doesn't get her way. Hyra, on the other hand, is much older than the other 2 elves, and acts like a big sister to them. Hyra is a gambling addict, spending all of her allowance money on the hobby. Kinda surprised she hasn't gambled away the shrine yet. Each elf has different interests, but there is one glaring similarity between them. They all freely do what they want without any fear of consequences. Each Miko has their hands full with their elven goddess. In between the moments showcasing comedy or Elda's otaku-ness, there's some trivia-like history lessons. Elda teaches Koito what the world was like during the Edo period in Japan. Some lessons include sumptuary edicts regarding fashion, aka what you can and cannot wear, customs, regional cuisine origins, and literacy rates in Japan, to name a few. If you love history like me, you will definitely enjoy these parts within the anime. The mixture of modern and historical aspects of the show make it an enjoyable and relaxing watch. The anime has some pretty good jokes, and it does take a shot at Nintendo at one point, which earns the anime some bonus points. Elda has been the one constant thing in a world that is constantly changing around her for the past 400 years, seeing others come and go as well as pass away. It's another reason she shuts herself in her room, since she knows the emotional pain that will eventually occur since elves are immortal and humans are not. She maintains her distance from people since it'll hurt more when they die if she were to be close to them. It's even a talking point between Miko as to whether they should get close to their goddess. This is also shown in several wholesome bonding scenes between Elda and Koito, where she silently begs Koito to never grow up. Not only because she likes her, but it's sad to see somebody you love leave you. Unfortunately for Elda, it's inevitable and an impossible wish to grant. These scenes are easily the best scenes within the show. Despite its comedic nature, there are moments where the viewer gets to see the genuine side of both Koito and Elda. Elda, despite her otaku nature, really does love every one of her parishioners, and that love is reciprocated by them. They find Elda's nature endearing and embrace it. The parishioners are in awe of her beauty and her agelessness. Koito respects Elda, and that respect is more than just the moment they shared during Koito's mother's funeral. What would I like to see from the future of the show? I'd like to see what the previous 200 years of Elda's life was like in her original world. What's it like in Elfland? What was Elda like when she was younger? There's still some mystery behind Koito's mother. It's safe to assume there will be flashbacks involving her. Will Elda ever give up her otaku nature? I'd say it's doubtful, but I do think she'll continue opening up. So is Edomae Elf a gem, trash, or something in between? I'd say it's a decent recommendation, especially if what I just said about it appeals to you. My rating for it is a 6.75 out of 10. As usual, thanks so much for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next video.